I hope this is working today, my mic in particular. I'm going to wait until we have a few people, so you can tell me if the mic is working, hopefully. Just give it a minute. Let's see here. Hi. I see some people arriving, so you can maybe tell me if the mic is working. If I go away, can you still hear me? Maybe you can use the chat to let me know. I don't see it moving too well, to be honest. I'm going to bring the computer a little bit closer. Oops. So hopefully you'll hear me. Hi, everyone. So we're almost ready to start. Could you please let me know in the chat if you can hear me, or if you have my number, you can maybe text me. I have my phone here, just in case. We're going to start in the next 30 seconds to 1 minute, just allowing more people to come in. Yeah, thank you, Eleanor. Okay, then I can start. I'll bring my phone near me so you can tell me if you can still hear me fine from here. Lovely. So I hope you can still hear me okay. If not, anytime, just let me know. I'll keep the phone. Lovely. Thank you, Katrin, as well. The phone near me anyway. So today it's a vinyasa class. So we're going to start on the mat. If you have a book or a block, you might grab them, one of them, a book or a block, just for later, but you don't need it. It's fine if you don't have one. You can still do the class, no problem at all. So from here, we're just going to sit on the mat and bring the feet a little bit wider than your mat, a little bit wider than your hips, as wide as your mat, more or less. You can bring your hands behind you, and then you're going to drop the knees side to side, just preparing the hips for later to get on with the practice. So I'm a big fan of preparing the body before to get into the actual practice, and some mobility is always useful for our body before we start. So just here, side to side, feeling the head of your bone moving inside the hip socket. Just a few more here, not too long. Yes. I'm still checking the phone as the other time, you might remember, I went on mute for a full 50 minutes class. So, okay, so we can stop here, and still here you have a choice. You can either keep your hands behind, or you can keep your hands, hold your hands up, and this will engage your core a little bit more. So start with your legs nice and wide, then you're going to lift one leg up and bring the foot near your pelvis. Then you lift the other leg and bring the foot in front of the other leg. Then you open your legs once again and do the same, starting with the other foot though, okay? So keep going like that, lifting the foot up as much as you can so that we work a little bit the hip flexors as well. If your hands are up like me, you're also working a little bit more your core, which is always very useful. So we start awakening the core before starting practice as well. And we will work on the core, I promise, today, as usual in my classes. Okay, you keep doing them a little bit more. I'm going to adjust a little bit the screen so you can see me better. Lovely. And then from here, just bring yourself onto the mat into a four-legged position to start, in which we will do a little bit of cat-cow pose. So make sure, as usual, to have your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath the hips. Spread the fingers wide and have the index fingers pointing forward. Suck the lower belly in already. See what happens? First I'm overarching, and then the minute I suck the lower belly in, I engage my core and I'm not overarching my back anymore. Now, try to hold the core like that. Use the inhale to drop the navel down towards the floor, tilting the sitting bones up, pinching motion between the shoulder blades, looking up, arms are straight. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, lift the navel up as much as you can, look down between your legs. Again, inhale, opposite motion, drop the navel down towards the floor. Pinching motion between the shoulder blades, tilt the sitting bones up, look up. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, suck the lower belly in, push the floor away as much as you can. And then again, inhale, drop the navel down towards the floor, pinching motion between the shoulder blades, tilt the sitting bones up. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, suck the lower belly in, look between your legs, push, 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 push. Inhale again, drop the navel down towards the floor, look up, pinching motion between the shoulder blades. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, look down between your legs, push the floor away as much as you can, and then as you know, come back to a neutral position. From here, point your toes, bring your pelvis towards your feet, towards your heels, and stretch your arms forward. Elbows away from the floor. You're stretching your arms away from you, walking your hands away. You can bring the forehead onto the floor. Here you're drawing your pelvis back and you're drawing your arms and arms forward. Stretching as much as you can. You might feel the stretch in the area around your shoulder blades and the top of your shoulders. And then from here, use one inhale, come up to a four-legged position. From here, I want you to shift the shoulders forward a little, push the floor away for a moment, suck the lower belly in, keep pushing. We're just staying here for a moment. I want you to feel that push from the floor, that filling the space between the shoulder blades and your core nice and strong, so that your knees are actually light. And then bring yourself back into four-legged position. Again, push the shoulders forward, suck the lower belly in, push the floor away, knees are becoming light, suck the lower belly in, and come back to a four-legged position. Last time, bring yourself forward, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, suck the lower belly in, knees are light, and bring yourself into four-legged position. This time again, we're shifting the shoulders forward. Again, push the floor away, suck the lower belly. This time, bend the elbows and bring the chest and chin onto the floor. From here, draw the elbows towards one another. You will feel your lats activating. Tilt the sitting bones up. Point your toes. Use one inhale, upward facing dog. From here, bend your knees, keep the knees onto the floor, bring yourself back into the child pose. Forehead into the floor, again, elbows away from the floor, stretch your arms are drawing forward, the pelvis is drawing back, lengthening the spine, sucking the lower belly in, breathing nice and deeply here. Take it easy, do what you can. We're just moving the body here. Inhale, come up into a four-legged position once again. So this time here, make sure your knees are still underneath your pelvis. And here you are going to stretch a little bit more the shoulders first. So we're going to slide the right arm underneath the body, bending the left elbow, bringing the shoulder blade onto the floor, the right heel onto the floor as well. So here we're just stretching the right shoulder blade here, the palm is facing up, and you're drawing the thumb towards the floor. So the arm is still active, your hand is active. You should be feeling stretch in the area around your shoulder blades, your right shoulder blade. Now lift the left arm away from the floor, wrap the arm around, and either catch a piece of cloth behind you or catch the right thumb. Draw the left hip back, the right hip slightly forward, roll the left shoulder back and down. Just 3 breaths here. 1, 2, 3. Release your left hand, bring your hand right in front of your nose, push the floor away, come up to a four-legged position once again. Same thing on the left. Slide the left arm underneath your body, the palm is facing up, bend the right elbow, left ear onto the floor, left shoulder blade onto the floor. The right hand is active, you're drawing the thumb towards the floor. Just here for a few moments, just preparing, feeling the stretch in the left shoulder. 2 more deep breaths. And lift the right arm up, wrap the arm all the way around, take hold of a piece of cloth, or if you can, the left thigh. Roll the shoulder back and down, draw the right hip back, the left hip slightly forward, and just 3 extra breaths here. Remember your core. 1, suck the lower belly. 2, 3. Release your right arm. Bring your hand just in front of your nose, push the floor away, come up into a four-legged position once again. So here you might need your block or your book. I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to place the block or the book in my lower back. That will just help me realize if I'm cheating doing this. So we just want to mobilize the hips. So here I'm going to show you when I'm cheating. When I'm cheating, I'm going to lift the knee up, and I'm going to lift it so much that my lower back arches. I'm lifting the hip up so much that my block falls down. Okay? So I don't want that to happen. I want to keep a nice alignment in my pelvis, and I want to keep sucking the lower belly in and not overarching the lower back. So I'm going to prepare here. I'm going to show you very quickly. I'm going to lift the knee up. Look at the difference when I'm not cheating. Then I'm going to bring the knee out again, making really, really sure that I'm not overarching nor lifting the right hip away from the floor. Then I'm going to bring the knee to the arm, and then I'm going to bring the knee back down. Okay? In all this, if you're doing this well, you should be feeling all the muscles around the hip activating. So, prepare with your book, or if you don't have the book, just be extra careful. Suck the lower belly in, lift the right knee up and back. Then, nice and mindfully, bring the knee out to the side, forward towards the arm, and then back down where we start. Don't stop there, keep going, lift the knee up, suck the lower belly, up to the side, don't lift the hip up, bring the knee towards the right arm, and then bring the knee back to the mat. And again, bring the knee back, out to the side, nice and slowly, mindfully, controlling the movement to the arm, and back to the mat. Now we're going to do the same movement, opposite direction. Okay? So we're lifting the knee up, bringing it towards the arm. Then out to the side, suck the lower belly in, then back, lift the knee up as much as you can without overarching the lower back, and back down into the mat. And again, knee to arm, out to the right side, suck the lower belly in, bring the knee back, lift it up as much as you can without arch, and back to the mat. Last time, knee to arm, out to the side. Bring the knee back, lift, 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 and back down to the floor. Left side, exactly the same thing. So here, prepare first, suck the lower belly in, lift the left knee up without overarching the lower back, knee to the side, bring the knee to the arm, and then bring it back again towards the floor. Again, lift the knee up, out to the side, to the arm, and to the floor. Last time, knee up, back to the side, to the arm, and onto the floor. Last time, opposite direction, where we start bringing the knee to the arm, out to the side, lift it up, and back down onto the mat. And again, knee to the arm, out to the side, mindfully moving. I'm cheating a little bit there. Lift the knee up and down to the mat. Last time, knee to the arm, out to the side, and then back. Lift without lifting the hip, and down onto the floor. Lovely. Remove your book or your block away. Get for a moment into child pose. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Hips are drawing back, arms are drawing forward, forehead maybe into the floor. And then from here, come up into a four-legged position. Hands underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, index fingers pointing forward. Let's take a plank pose. So straighten the right leg or the left first, whatever works for you. Straighten both legs, tuck your toes under, suck the lower belly in. Push the floor away, lifting the space between the shoulder blades. Make sure you are not here and you are not here, okay? Suck the lower belly in, nice and strong. Push the floor away, suck the lower belly in, keep sucking the lower belly in. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, 3. Push the floor away through the hands. Now lift the sitting bones up. Bend the knees and take your downward facing dog. In down dog, your feet are hip wide apart. Your hands are shoulder wide apart. Keep the knees bent for now. So here, I don't want you to have the legs straight and be like this, okay? So I want you to bend the knees, push the floor back, tilting the sitting bones up, and enjoying a nice stretch of your back, relaxing your neck. Draw the heels towards the floor so you feel also the stretch in the hamstrings, and also tilt the sitting bones up to feel the stretch in the hamstrings. Suck the lower belly in, keep pushing back to the hands. And then from here we can start working a little bit on the hamstrings. So I want you to bend the right knee even more, really stretching the toes there, pushing the toes against the floor. See if your lower ribs maybe can touch your thigh, your right thigh. Straighten the left leg if you can. If you can't stretch that leg completely, it's totally fine. Just feel that stretch in the left leg now. 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Bend the left knee as well. Bend the left knee even more. Push the toes against the floor. as you straighten the right leg. Again, see if you can have your lower ribs against the left thigh. The right leg is straight or almost straight. 3 breaths. 1, bend both knees. Tilt the sit bones up. See if you can straighten your legs a little bit more, both of them. Don't worry. If you feel like you're starting to do this, keep bending the knees. It's totally fine. Now bend the knees, bring them onto the floor, and take your child pose just for a moment, just to rest the arms if needed. I'm just going to check if you said anything about sound. No? Okay, that's great. Okay, so from here, we're going to go again into four-legged position. Then we're going to take our plank to get into, sorry, I'm scratching, there are mosquitoes here eating me at the moment. So we're going to go into a plank pose, like we did before. Suck the lower belly, push the floor away, nice and strong, work that core, and then from here, take your downward facing dog. Down dog, you have a choice, of course, as I said before. Bend the knees, push the floor away, tilt the sitting bones up. Or if you already have the hamstrings prepared to do a down dog with straight legs, go for it. Straight leg to down dog. From here, move the left foot towards the right foot, right between the 2 feet. Then lift the right leg up. Now here, I want you to make sure you're drawing the right hip down towards the floor. You are not lifting that hip up. You're drawing the hip, squaring everything, pushing the floor away through the hands and pointing the right toes. From here, we're going to bring the right knee to nose 3 times. As you bring the right knee to nose, you are going to go into a plank or almost a plank. Knee to nose, exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg up again. Exhale, bring the knee to nose. Inhale, straighten the leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg up. And exhale, knee to nose. Push the floor away. Bring the foot between the hands. If your foot reached just here, don't worry, take the right hand and bring the foot between the hands. That's it. So from here, we're going to bring the right heel onto the floor, okay? Check down if you have an alignment heel to arch. The right foot is pointing forward, the left foot is pointing 45 degrees in. Then we're going to lift up. Here you have a choice for this pose. You can bring the forearm on your thigh, or you can bring the fingertips or the palm onto the floor. Or if you have your book or the block, you can bring the book on the outer side of the foot and bring the hands there, okay? So wherever you are, I'm going to keep the block actually. Wherever you are, even if you're here or here, you're lifting the left shoulder away from the floor. See what happens? Then you're lifting the left arm up, following the line of the body. From here, look up to the palm. Roll the left shoulder back and down. Push the feet against the floor to engage the inner thighs. We're staying here 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Suck the lower belly. 4, 5. Exhale, bring the left hand down into the floor. Remove the block. Bring the fingertips onto the floor. Lift the left heel away from the floor. From here, we're going to bring the left knee back down into the floor, pointing the toes. Here, I want you to draw the right hip back and the left hip forward. We are here. The lower ribs are against the thigh, but we are trying to lift the sternum away from the thigh. So, like this. Draw the right hip back, the left hip forward. Push the pelvis forward and down. Look forward. 1, 2. The stretch is here and in the left upper thigh. 3, 4, 5. Here again, you can take your block, or without the block, bring the left hand underneath the left shoulder. We're going to twist, okay? So bring the right hand maybe first on your thigh, and then twist so that your chest is drawing towards the right leg, okay? So we are here. From here, we're going to bend the left leg and see if we can catch the foot. Don't worry if you can't catch the foot. If you don't catch the foot, it's okay. Stay here, just twisting, maybe using the right hand to twist, okay? If you can catch the foot, catch that foot. Take one inhale, lengthen the spine. As exhale, draw the pelvis down, and at the same time, draw that foot back. 1. Your palm is facing forward, okay? 2, 3, keep twisting. 4, 5. Nice and mindfully release the foot down onto the floor. Okay. So from here, remove the block if you had the block. Bring the palms to the floor. Push the floor away first. Tuck your left toes under and bring yourself back into plank. Push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under. From here, your choice, you can bring the knees onto the floor and lower down, or shift forward and lower down into Chaturanga Dandasana. From here, you are going to bring the forearms onto the floor. Make sure your elbows are underneath the shoulders and you're squaring the wrists with your elbows, okay? So we are not here or here or here. That's going to be very difficult. Elbows underneath the shoulders. So from here, we're going to do this. We're going to push the floor away as we inhale. And as we exhale, we want to bring the forehead towards the floor, creating space between the shoulders. Inhale again, push the floor away, look up. Exhale, bring the forehead towards the floor. Tuck the tailbone up, down slightly as well. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring the forehead towards the floor. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring the forehead onto the floor. Bring your hands at the side of your chest. Point your toes if they aren't already. And here, push the floor away. Come up into upward facing dog. Tuck the tailbone under here. From here, bend the knees and bring yourself into child pose. Take one inhale, come up into a four-legged position. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, look down. Inhale, bring the navel down towards the floor, bring the motion between the shoulder blades, look up. Exhale, push the floor away, look down. Inhale, look up. Bringing the navel towards the floor, pinching motion between the shoulder blades. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, come back to neutral position. And then from here, take your plank. Push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Again, feel free to have your knees bent here. Aim to have a nice and straight back. More than have a nice and straight back, to feel the stretch on the back. Don't worry about the shape. Tilt the sitting bones up. Relax your neck. If you can straighten your leg, do that. Then move your right foot closer to the left foot. And we're going to do everything on the left side. So lift the left leg up, nice and straight. Draw the left hip down towards the floor. Push the floor back to the hands. Again, here, we're going to bring the knee to nose 3 times. So take one inhale first. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, bring the leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, bring the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. And then inhale, bring the left leg up. Exhale, bring the knee up to nose, push the floor away, bring the foot down between the hands. Again, if your foot only reaches here, take the left and bring the foot forward. That's no problem at all. Then look down, bring the right heel onto the floor. The foot is pointing 45 degrees in, so like that, more or less. Then you want to have an alignment heel to arch. You want to keep the front knee bent. Ideally, the knee is above the ankle, okay? And then we are ready to lift up. Again, as we did before, you might have had your forearm on the thigh or your hand on the block on the outer side or onto the floor, okay? So from here, you want to lift the right shoulder away from the floor. You want to lift the right arm up, following the line of the body, looking up to the palm. The right shoulder is away from the floor. Suck the lower belly in. Push the feet against the floor so your inner thighs are working. 1, 2, 3. Keep breathing nice and deep. 4, 5. Exhale, bring the hands onto the floor. Move the block away if you have the block. Lift the right heel up, bring the knee onto the floor. Again, here, remember what we want to do is this. We want to, yes, keep the lower ribs against the thigh, but at the same time, we're activating the lats, lifting the sternum up. Then we're drawing the left hip back, the right hip forward, drawing the pelvis down towards the floor. 5 breaths here. 1, 2, push the pelvis forward and down. 3, 4, 5. Take again the block if you need and bring it underneath your right shoulder. Otherwise, I'm bringing the fingertips or the palm onto the floor, right underneath the right shoulder. Then the left hand is going on the left knee. Here we want to twist, remember? So we want to lift the left shoulder away from the floor. And here you can stay here, or you can bend the right leg, touch your foot. My palm is facing the direction. You want to lengthen the spine. You want to exhale, twist, and draw the pelvis down even more. At the same time, my foot is pulling away from me. 1, 2, twist. 3, keep pulling the foot back. 4, 5. Nice and mindful, and release the right foot down towards the floor. Bring your left hand again onto the floor. Push the floor away. Lift the right knee up and step back into plank. Push the floor away. Remember here, you can bring the knees onto the floor if you need. Otherwise, just push forward, lower all the way down onto the floor. And again, we want to bring the forearms onto the floor, aligning the elbows underneath the shoulders. Tuck your tailbone under, point your toes. Use the inhale to push the floor away, lifting up. And the exhale to bring the forehead onto the floor, almost onto the floor, and creating space between the shoulders. Inhale again, push the floor away, look up. Exhale, bring the forehead towards the floor. Inhale again, push the floor away, look up. Exhale, bring the forehead towards the floor. Inhale again, push the floor away. We're going to stay here for a moment. Now I want you to really check your body, see what you feel. Do you feel something in your lower back? If you feel a kind of not a nice sensation in the lower back, I want you to try this. Suck the lower belly in. Tuck the tailbone under, activating your bum. So really squeeze your bum here. Push the floor away a little bit more from the floor. pushing the elbows against the floor. Sorry, guys. Then start pulling this way through your forearms. Keep the shoulders away from the floor. Suck the lower belly in, tuck the tailbone under. Is this better? Do you feel that kind of not nice sensation in the lower back? If you're doing this way, you shouldn't feel it. Okay? Feel free to ask me after class if you're still feeling the sensation into the lower back. So have another nice deep breath in. And then as exhale, bring your forehead towards the floor. Move your hands underneath the shoulders to the side of the chest. Push the floor away. Draw the elbows towards one another. Push the floor away. Come up in upward facing dog. Tuck the tailbone under once again. Knees onto the floor. Child pose for a moment. Push the pelvis back. Draw the arms forward. You can even rock the pelvis side to side here to release any tension you might have in your pelvis or lower back. And then inhale, come up, four-legged position once again. Cat and cow, just a few rounds. Use the exhale to push the floor away, tucking the tailbone under, creating space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, draw the navel down towards the floor, pinching motion between the shoulder blades, tilt the sit-bones up, elbows are straight. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, look down between your legs. Inhale, look up, pinching motion between the shoulder blades. Exhale, push the floor away, look down between your legs. Inhale, come back to a neutral position. From here, we're going to bring ourselves into plank. Push the floor away, tuck the tailbone up, nice and strong, keep pushing the floor away, and then bring yourself into down dog. This down dog, move it a little bit, bend one knee, then the other, tilt the sit-bones up. See what you feel as you move this down dog, relax your neck. You're still tilting the sit-bones up, pushing the floor away through the hands. Just 3 more breaths. 1, 2, 3. Look between the hands. Here you can walk or step your feet between the hands. Feet together, toes are at the knees bent. Check that the knees are above your ankles. Bring them back. Bend the knees a little bit more if you can. Squeeze the knees towards one another until you feel also your bum activated. Lift the sternum up, and here you will start feeling something in the lower back. That's good. We are working those muscles. Lift the sternum up. Press the palms together. Look up towards your thumbs. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 5. Exhale. Forward. Bring the fingertips onto the floor. Your knees are still bent. Now bring the feet hip wide apart. Still pointing forward. Your knees are still bent. Move the weight towards the front of the feet. Lengthen the spine, lifting the sternum away from the thighs. Bring the lower ribs towards your thighs. So make sure lower ribs are actually touching your thighs here, okay? Then you can catch your legs, your ankles with your hands, okay? Maybe you can wrap the arms around your lower legs. Keep lengthening the spine. Keep pushing the chest towards the thighs. Your knees can be as bent as you need to do this, okay? You don't need to have straight legs here. Relax your neck. Move the weight towards the front of the feet. Use your arms to push your chest even more to the thighs. Relax your neck, just stay here. If you don't feel any stretch in the hamstrings and the lower back, slightly straighten your legs, keeping the chest on the thighs. 5 breaths here. 1, 2, keep lengthening the spine, tilting the seated bones up. 3, weight at the front of the feet. 4, the knees can be still bent. 5, release your legs, bring the fingertips onto the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine, flat back. As exhale, bring the chest to the thighs once again. And then as inhale, to go arms up. Press the palms together, look up, suck the lower belly in. Exhale, Samasthiti. So, if you aren't at the top of the mat, move towards the top of the mat a little bit. Okay, I'm going to slightly move the camera so you can see me better, hopefully. Okay, so we are standing at the front of the mat. The feet are together, the toes are touched. The heels can be slightly apart or touching. That is up to you. Spread the toes wide, find a nice connection with the floor. Then start engaging your legs. Tilt the kneecaps up. Squeeze your legs. Suck the lower belly in. Tuck the tailbone under slightly. Or draw the lower ribs towards your pelvis. Lift the sternum up at the same time. Roll the shoulders back and down, arms along the body. We're going to do a few sun salutations here. Slight tuck of the chin. Let's have a couple of breaths here. Nice and deep. 1, inhale. Exhale all the way out. Inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale again. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift both arms up. Press the palms together, look up. Suck the lower belly in. Exhale, fold forward. Slightly bend the knees here. Hinge from your hips. Bring the fingertips onto the floor. Inhale, long spine, flat back. As you exhale, bend the knees even more if you need to press the palms onto the floor underneath the shoulders. Then from here, really press the floor away and step back into plank. Tuck the tailbone under, push the floor away. Bring the knees on the floor if you need, or shift forward and lower down into Chaturanga Dandasana. Point your toes, inhale, upward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Just 3 breaths here. 1, make sure your feet are hip wide apart. 2, relax your neck. 3, push back through the hands. 4, and we are doing 5 breaths, sorry. And let's do 5 breaths. And 5, look between the hands. Here, walk or step your feet between the hands. Feet together, toes touch. Lengthen the spine, chest away from the thighs. Exhale, draw the chest to the thighs now. And then inhale, come up. Press the palms together, look up, tuck the tailbone under. Exhale, Samasthiti. 2 more times. Inhale, lift both arms up. Press the palms together, look up. Exhale, fold, hinging from the hips. Bend the knees slightly here. Inhale, long spine, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees even more if you need to bring the palms onto the floor. Push the floor away. Step back into plank. Knees to the floor if you need, or shift forward, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. 3 breaths now. 1, 2, feet hip wide apart. 3. Look between the hands. Step or walk your feet forward, feet together, toes touching, long spine, flat back. Exhale, chest to dance. Inhale to come up. Press the palms together. Look. Exhale, Samasthiti to hip. Last time, inhale. Exhale, fold, slightly bend the knees, fingertips onto the floor. Inhale, long spine, flat back. Exhale, palms onto the floor, bend the knees as much as you need. Step back to plank. Knees to floor if you need, or just shift forward and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5, 3, long breaths. 1, 2, 3. Now look between the hands. This time we're going to get a cross-legged position. If you know what we're doing, you go for it. Otherwise, follow me. Bring the right knee towards the right hand. Bring the shin onto the floor. Then the left knee to the left hand. Cross your shins and sit down into a cross-legged position. From here, we are going to do Dandasana pose first. You want to straighten your legs in front of you. The feet are together, the knees are together, you're flexing your feet, you're sucking the lower belly in. We have an internal rotation of the hips. Your toes are drawing towards the shins. The hands are onto the floor. We're using a little pressure against the floor to lift the sternum up. Okay, so look here, but at the same time, you want to keep the shoulders away from the floor. Suck the lower belly in, a slight tuck of the chin. Look at your toes. 1, 2, 3. Keep flexing the feet. 4. Internal rotation of the hips. 5. And relax there for a moment. Now we're going to bring the feet closer to the bum, so bring the legs slightly bend the knees, and the feet are hip wide apart, okay? Pointing forward. And this is what we're going to do here. We're going to do a little flow in which we will do tabletop pose. You might want to watch first, a little L sit, and a Navasana pose, both pose. So I'm going to show you. The hands are a little bit away from the pelvis, okay? So from here, I push the floor away through the feet and hands, and I tilt the pelvis up. Then I'm going to bring the pelvis back, lifting the pelvis away from the floor, sucking the lower belly in. Then from here, I'm going to bring the pelvis down onto the floor, lift the feet up into Navasana, bent knees if needed. Then again, feet to the floor, here, and we do the same. Tabletop, L sit with feet onto the floor, Navasana. Okay? Do what you can. Again, Navasana can be done with bent legs, holding your knees. Here you want your feet hip wide apart, your hands onto the floor. We're going to hold these poses first for 2 breaths each, and then we do it in a flow. Your fingers are pointing forward. Relax the shoulders away from the neck. Inhale, push the floor away through hands and feet. Tilt the pelvis up. 2 breaths. 1, tuck the tailbone under. 2. Then bring the pelvis down. Keep the pelvis away from the floor. Bring the pelvis back. Heels onto the floor. 1, 2. Bring the pelvis down. The feet up. Keep the knees bent if you need. 1. Feet together here. 2. Feet onto the floor. Hip wide apart. hands onto the floor. Now we're just going to do one breath for each movement. Inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale, L, sit, squeeze. Inhale, bring the bum onto the floor. Navasana. Exhale, bring the feet down into the floor, hands onto the floor. Inhale here, bring the pelvis up. Exhale, L, sit, squeeze everything. Inhale, bum onto the floor, Navasana. Long breaths. Exhale, bring the feet down onto the floor. Prepare here. Inhale, pelvis up. Exhale, L, sit, squeeze your core. Inhale, Navasana. Just one more time. Exhale, bring the feet down, feet hip wide apart, hands onto the floor. Inhale, lift the pelvis up. Exhale, bring yourself into L, sit. Inhale, Navasana. Oops. Exhale, bring the feet down. Oh, good. Okay, lovely. So, from here, let me check the time actually, because I might have lost a little bit. Yeah, good. We're just going to do a few closing poses. So first of all, we're bending the right leg and we're bringing the foot near the pelvis and near the inner thigh. The left foot is flexed, so you're drawing the toes towards the shin. Then you're using the left hand to hug your leg. The right hand, the same leg, the same hand as the bent leg, is pressing the floor behind. Okay, we're going to take a few breaths here. So first of all, you want to push the floor away through the right hand to lengthen the spine, lifting the chest away from the thigh. As you exhale, you twist of the toes. We're going to stay 8 breaths today. Or you can bring the elbow on the outer side of the knee if you're ready. Same movements apply, okay? So inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist a little bit more. 1, 2, as always, inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. 3, 4, keep twisting as you exhale. 5, 6, lengthen the spine, inhale. 7, as you exhale, twist even more. 8. Slowly use the inhale to come out from the pose. Both legs straight in front of you. Bend the left knee, bring the foot near the pelvis, near the inner thigh. And then again, you want to make sure you're flexing the right foot, drawing the toes towards the shin, hug the knee, bring the left hand onto the floor, 8 breaths here or with the elbow on the outer side of the knee. 1, inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. 2, 3, exhale, twist even more. 4, always using twist. 5, flex the right foot. 6, 7, 8. Inhale, slowly come up to center. From here, we're gonna go onto the floor and we're going to bring the knees to chest, rocking side to side for a few moments. Really hug your knees. If you can, catch your elbows with your hands. Rock side to side for a few moments. Keep the head onto the floor. Really squeeze the knees to chest. Bring your feet onto the floor. A little bit wider than your hips. but close to your pelvis. From here, lift the right foot away from the floor and bring the ankle on the top, on the left thigh. From here, flex the right foot, lift the left foot away from the floor. You can decide to clasp your hands underneath your knee, so on your hamstring, or on top of your shin. Wherever you are, you first take one deep inhale, and then as exhale, flexing the right foot, draw mindfully the left knee towards you. And here again, it's totally up to you. If you want to have a little bit of an extra stretch, you can use the right elbow to mindfully, gently push away the right knee from you. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mindfully release the pulse. Uncross your leg, bring both knees onto the floor, a little bit wider than your hips again, close to your pelvis. Lift the left foot up to bring the ankle on top of the right thigh. Flex the foot, lift the right foot away from the floor. Clasp your hands on your hamstring or on the top of your shin. Again, first of all, take one inhale. Then exhale, draw the knee towards you. 1, again, you can use the left elbow to push the knee away. 2, very mindful. 3, any pain, just take it back a little bit, release the pulse. 4, 5. And then again, nice and mindfully, release the pulse. Bring the feet onto the floor. Drop the knees side to side for a few times. And then for last pose, we are doing an inversion, a shoulder stand. If you are not familiar with shoulder stand or you don't want to do shoulder stand for any reason, that's totally fine. You just lie down onto the floor, knees up, catch your feet from the outer side, knees towards your armpit, so pointing out, and you pull the feet down. You can even rock side to side, massaging your back. If you want to do shoulder stand, just lie down onto the floor and show you first. Push the palms onto the floor. Draw the knees towards your face as you lift the pelvis up, using the momentum, catching your lower back, supporting the lower back. Straight legs. Your feet can either point back, half shoulder stand, or up. We're going to stay here for 5 long breaths. After 5 breaths, you bend your knee, you squeeze everything in, you support your back, and very mindfully bring yourself down onto the floor, ready for Shavasana. Okay? So, now, remember either your happy baby pose or follow me into. Try not to look side to side when you are in shoulder stand. So lift the knees up, prepare your shoulder stand, half or full, straighten the legs. 5 breaths, suck the lower belly in, point your toes. 1, squeeze your legs. 2, 3, legs are together. 4, 5. Bend your knees, keep supporting your lower back, squeeze the knees to chest as you slowly, mindfully come down towards the floor. And from here, just let your legs rest onto the floor, feet relaxed, arms along the body, palms facing up, shoulders from the neck, a slight tuck of the chin, close your eyes. Shavasana for a few moments. As you move your awareness back to your heart center, start making small movements with your hands and feet, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. And then when you're ready, take a deep stretch, just in a way that is comfortable to you. And then on your own time, when you're ready, roll over your right side or your left side, it's the same.